chemistry with the receivers going on the road, in this type of environment that we saw Saturday?
I don't think it matters where we're at. It's still going to be a football field, 100 yards long. So chemistry is going to be the same. Just got to go and do our job. I think it's key for Saturday is just preparation during the week. And so we got to work out the kinks and do our stuff during the week and be ready come game time just to go show out.
Do you talk to any of especially the new guys who this is their first year, even the JUCO transfers? Do you talk to them at all about this big game and how to deal with it, or just?
I would never have to tell them it's a big game. I think how they deal with it. I think it'll be certain things. We'll have to see how people are preparing during the week because it's not something that you want to do too much. It's a big game. It's one of the bigger ones in the year for us, but you can't treat it any differently, and I think that's going to help me. My mindset is treating it like any other game and realizing I just got to go do my job. So I'll translate that to the other guys that maybe have a little more tendency to overdo it a little bit, but I think the key to it is going out and doing your job the right way.
What happened last year? Been treating it not like any other game?
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. In big games like this, you get in a big stage, you think you have to do too much, but in reality, it's about trusting that guy next to you to do his job, and you got to do yours. And so everybody's counting on each other to do that, and just executing.
Baker, what happened last year against Ohio State? Sum it up again.
They just beat us. I mean, they flat out played better than us. Watch the film. There's no question about it. We didn't play like we should have. They took advantage of our turnovers, the pick six, and then they turned around on the second interception I had and turned it into another touchdown score. So they just beat us. They played better. And so in big games like this, it's about taking care of the ball, eliminating negative plays, penalties, and sacks and things like that. So just got to focus in. There's got to be a high level of focus. Got to block out the distractions and the outside noise this week and do your job.
Speaking of the distractions and the pressure that comes in this game, can you speak to Lincoln's common influence and the difference between him and maybe Stoops going into the big game? What are the similarities?
I think they're very similar. I think they're similar in the way that I kind of just said, blocking out everything else, just doing your job and trying to emphasize the fact that we just need to be focused and treat it like any other game. I think they're very similar in that way. Other than that, I wouldn't say there's any difference.
When this game ended last year, you talked about going back to basics, and you were clearly a different quarterback the rest of the way. Was last year's game important for you in terms of your development going forward?
I think so. I think that wouldn't be able to be up here and say some of the things that with a clear head, talking about doing my job and executing it. And I think it was a huge learning, curve for me last year, losing that game and watching the film and realizing that I didn't play well at all. We had some good plays and we wound up scoring 20-plus points on a good team, but we obviously didn't get the outcome we wanted, and that was a huge part of that was on me. So it was a great learning tool for me, and I think that showed with the rest of my play last year, and I think I've carried that same mindset into this year, so I'm not going to change anything up.
You essentially guaranteed the Big 12 title after that game, as I recall last year. Did you?
Yeah.
Does that still motivate you, that kind of mindset, that kind of thinking? Did you clear your head after the Ohio State game?
Absolutely. I think it's been about having a clear picture. Like I said, it's having that focused mindset about doing my job, and the best thing that I can do is do my job and push others to try and keep up with the level of execution that I'm doing. So, and that's how I've been leading. I've always been a fiery guy, and they'll see my emotion. There's no question about that. But the best thing for my teammates to see is that I got to do every little detail right, and they're going to have to treat it the same way.
One of their defensive assistants said a couple weeks ago that their defensive line was better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from a couple of years ago with Gerald McCoy. What confidence do you have in this offensive line going up against those guys?
Jeez.
It's true. I didn't make that up.
They're a great defensive line. I'm not saying anything like that, but it's still college, and we have a great offensive line. I think that people might put the headline as JT Barrett and I, but no, it's going to be a huge matchup in the trenches, and I think every game starts up front. But that's a big thing for our guys, and our defensive line as well. It's going to be a huge challenge for us. The big games like this, you see how physical you are. And so it's going to be a challenge for our offensive line and defensive line. And so you see the big names they have, and I think we have some big names up front too. So, yeah, they got us last year, but it's a whole different year. So we'll see.
Sorry, Ovo said that he enjoys going on the road, playing in front of big hostile crowds like
Yeah.
this. You think that's something that was born out of maybe you guys being at Tennessee and going, obviously you played well when you went to back to Lubbock with all the chants going on there and things?
I don't think it came from that. I think you're either born with it or you're not. There's a time when you face adversity and you go into a hostile environment and you either go into your shell or you come out and you shine. So without pressure, there's no diamonds. And so I think you're either born with it or you're not. And I think this team's played well on the road for a reason. And I think we have a bunch of guys that we've instilled the mentality that, you got to love it. College football, you got rivalries and you got trash talk, and you got to enjoy it. So you got to go in there and just want to do your job and try to silence the crowd.
Baker, can you talk about, you were very efficient on Saturday, and can you just provide some insight about how much the game has slowed down for you and if that's a result of the offensive line being intact and just giving you so much time?
Oh, they're always a huge part in my success. I mean, it starts up front, like I said. Every game starts in the trenches. But, yeah, the game slowed down for me. That's just because I've played a lot of ball. I've been in Coach Riley's system. So it's just about realizing that you got to translate the practice field to the game field. And so it'll slow down when you realize you just want to do your job. You don't want to try and do too much. You just focus in on what you've been seeing the whole week from the scout team. And so it comes with that. And, that does come with experience and reps. But it's just been about, having that chemistry with Coach Riley and the guys around me as well.
When you think of that success throwing on these guys, how confident are you that you can get your receivers open and be able to have the same kind of success, if not more?
Indiana played well, yes, but it has no effect on us. We still have to show up and do our job. I challenged our receivers last week to go make competitive plays, and we did that. But it's a new week, so we gotta practice harder than ever. Ohio State's a great football team, great tradition, and Coach Meyer will definitely have them ready. So that's the one thing we know. But we'll have to, make sure we show up and make competitive plays like Indiana did.
They talk about competitive plays. What did you think about catch back that last week? And then what does that do for your confidence when your new guys go out and make plays like that for you?
It's huge. It gives me a huge confidence boost. He's a guy that you want to have to lead him. You want to miss him out front just because he's so speedy. But at the same time, knowing that he can stop and make a play like that when you make a terrible throw like I did, it makes me feel like I'm able to be bailed out at the same time. So all the confidence in the world, and not just that catch. There was multiple catches on Saturday that they saved me with. So proud of them, but that just gives me more confidence to throw it to them.
Baker, it's important to take games 1 week at a time, but is there anything in the back of your head that tells you what happens on Saturday could play an impact on what happens when the college football playoff announced in December?
Obviously, this game has huge implications on the playoff picks, but right now, we know that's the big picture mindset, but it's about 1 week at a time, and so that's what great teams do. They take it 1 week at a time and to get to that final point. And so we'll see when December comes when they make those picks. But right now we got to take care of business, and every week after that too.
I'm sorry. How outside your orbit is following up on that is the Big 12, for the Big 12's sake, you guys have to win this game for reputation, being the playoff, all that stuff.
I could care less.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to support. I love the Big 12 conference. They gave me my extra year, but not trying to make any other team better in the Big 12. That's not what I'm trying to do this Saturday. I'm trying to win and take care of Oklahoma. That's the only thing I care about.
You mentioned JT, a couple of guys that have been around for a while. Do you have any kind of relationship with him from the Manning Academy, or I don't know?
No, actually, only time I've been around JT was in high school at one of those Elite 11 qualifying camps in Dallas. Good player, always has been. Great leader. Respect him for that. That's something that I do respect out of him. Ever since he's walked on that campus, he's been a leader for that team. And so, anytime you're a 3-time captain for a school like that, it's a big deal. So, all the respect in the world to him, and he obviously always takes care of his business.
You were throwing against the secondary last year that had 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
That's almost seems preposterous. You would assume there's a drop-off just from that kind of talent departure. Did you notice that against Indiana? Or?
No, it's not about a talent drop-off, not there. And You could say that about our receivers here. You'd say there's a talent drop-off. No, a school like that just reloads. It doesn't matter who it is. They'll reload. No, they don't have the same experience that those other guys had, but they're just as talented. There's no question about that. It's still Ohio State. They're going to have those recruits that come in, and they're still going to have the same coaches that get them right, so can't treat it any differently.
How strange was it taking the second half off Saturday?
It's pretty nice, actually. Yeah, clock in and clock out. Got to watch Kyler and Tanner play well, so it was good to see those young guys in. And I think it was good for Kyler to get back out there after a long break. I know how that feels, so it was good to see those guys still go out there and execute. And so we played well even when I wouldn't, and so that's a great sign.
You have the fake spike in your arsenal.
Fake spike?
Yeah. Did you not watch UCLA last night?
Oh no, I don't even know. I hope we're never in a situation to have to use that, but kudos to them for coming back off that.
You mentioned something about being a leader. It's important for you to be a leader on this team. What character, TV, movies do you see as a leader that you would look up to?
You told me you were going to ask an odd question. Goodness. I don't even know. I don't even know how to answer that question.
You're 0 for 2 so far.
Yeah, well, you got me this year.
The UCLA A&M game, what lessons does that provide, either on the losing side or the winning side, that you can't do what they did, or you can't give up, or whatever it is?
On the A&M side, never take your foot off the gas. You never want to take a team lightly. No matter who it is, you still got to go do your job, and no matter who's in. And that's a big reason why I was so excited that when I came out and there was a ton of young guys in that we still executed well. And so no matter who's in the game, you still got to go do your job. And then at the same time, UCLA, never give up, no matter what the score is. There's still a lot of ball left, and you never know what's going to happen. So just keep doing your job, and good things will happen.
For 3 months, the storyline around here has all been about Lincoln Riley, about Stoops. You've been lumped into that quite a bit, but it seems like that goes by the side this week, because no matter who's the coach, no matter who's the quarterback, Ohio State will be a big deal. Is that sort of feel that the tenor of the week has changed with the arrival of Ohio State?
No, I don't think I'm looking at it any differently. I still know it's going to be a big matchup, and when it comes down to it, it's about winning your individual battles. And so, like I said, it starts in the trenches. Receivers have to make competitive plays against their DBs. Our running backs have to make plays in open space against their linebackers. I mean, it's all about your matchups. And so, when it comes down to it, whatever name or headline you want to put on the story, it's still football, and we'll see what happens.
What was it like handing the ball off, not to Samaje or Joe Saturday?
It was different. Not having Papa and Joe out there. It was a little different, but our backs played well. We got a good stable of backs, and so you talk about who was going to be the guy, but we had 4 guys that played well, and so that's a good problem to have. And so some of them might not be happy about playing time, but they should be happy for each other to have played well. And so it's about the team right now, and whoever's running with the ball has got to be running hard, because we got other guys right behind you.
In the last 20 years or so, very few times, maybe just only a couple, Oklahoma's been beaten on that field the way Ohio State beat you guys last year. How much of that is that stayed with this team going into this game?
About us?
Yeah, just kind of what happened last year with Ohio State.
A lot of it. I mean, everybody that was here for last year's huge loss definitely remembers that, and that's something we talked about during camp. We've never been here for a team to sing their fight song on our field. Quite frankly, it's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. We let down our fans, our coaches, and everybody that supports our program to allow them to sing OHIO on our field, and their fans were louder than ours, and rightfully so. They had more reason to be louder, but it's a different year. Obviously, yeah, we're still thinking about that. It hurts, but we still got to go play football.